What's happening, everyone? Welcome back, and thank you for stopping into the channel. Today we have a surprise unboxing, and I say that meaning a couple different things. This was out of my scheduled ideas for this week and this week's videos, and what's in the package will actually be a surprise to quite a few people, or most of you. There are a few guys who already know, but we'll go ahead and get started with what I had in the pocket today. Today I was carrying my Paramilitary 2 from Spyderco. This is a Knife Joy exclusive in 20 CV. They DLC coat the blade, and you got that 20 CV, which means you're going to have a little bit extra protection, and you're still going to get that amazing edge retention. The blade is going to do just so well. This is one of the, not sliciest, but the sharpest knives that I own, period. This thing is just ridiculous. Look at the edge from factory. Just ridiculous, guys. I do have a video coming up on that guy soon. And then the other guy I had in my pocket, had to get a button lock out for today. And no better choice than the Mad Tanto. I have a feeling this is going to make it to the end of the year and be in some sort of budget knife of the year category. I don't know, I don't know which or what one, or if it will truly make it there. I just have a feeling it's going to. Gonna be hard to beat this thing out completely out of the awards, so to speak. Just so well done. The execution, the materials, the craftsmanship, just very well done. Ridiculously well done. So the Mad Tanto from Kaiser, if I didn't say it, but just a great knife at a great price. So we will go ahead and jump into the unboxing. And before I open it up, there are some things I wanted to clarify and go over. Whether it was this video or any other video. I did a recent video, and it was a video I worked very hard on, had to redo several times, put a lot of thought into it, and there were still some things that I missed on, and some of the things I even knew at least a little bit before I did the video, but they were not things that I thought of, in the middle of doing that video, or even beforehand. And my thing about that is, now I kind of, you learn from your experiences, or you should at least try to. And the main thing I realize is, just because you have an idea about something, or you may know a little bit about something, that doesn't mean you understand it or completely understand that said topic. And my eyes were opened up quite a bit, even knowing some of the things I knew. I just didn't quite understand the whole circle of events, so to speak. And the fact is, not that they weren't small things to miss on. They were actually bigger points that should have been made, and therefore that is my mistake, and I figure I would own up to that mistake. I was wrong in the sense that I didn't state all of the information. So in that sense, that's my fault, and this video is kind of trying to relay that to the viewers and all the subscribers and whatnot who watch that video or will someday watch that video. And I don't want it to get twisted or anything like that. Everything I said in that video was my opinion and how I truly felt at the time while missing on some things. And becoming aware of the whole circle of events has changed my mind. It has changed my mind in order to add some things to that whole video. And I will be, there's no probably about it, I will be redoing a video covering certain knives and certain topics, just because that's how I feel and I think the right thing to do. So after making that video, I had a live stream, and I had Ben came into the chat, and then he ended up on the live stream, and we ended up talking back and forth for like 2 hours, I think it was, and it was great. Gonna have him back on here at some point, and he's a great dude, and I have always felt that way. And within talking to Ben, he made me realize some things, and those things are that, you know, I said some things where, you know, value is this knife, and, you know, I said value is this knife. We're just going to get into it. I said value is right here, and you can't deny that. Ben didn't deny that, and I can't deny that. You're getting M390 jig titanium, great quality, and you're getting it for, I think, under 150 bucks. All right. This knife is a great budget pick for a slip joint. The Hedgehog in 14C, that's the Hedgehog in titanium, and I still stand by that. This is, if you want a budget knife under 100 bucks, a slip joint, this is where I would go. Micarta 14C, great build quality, great walk and talk, very well done from QSP. And then I said this would be right behind this knife as far as value. I think this is 10 or 15 bucks more, something like that. But this is the TPK Ohio River Jack. And this is M390 jig titanium, great build quality, great walk and talk from QSP as well. And they're very well done. But the thing that I didn't take into account, and I've been in the knife world for quite a while at this time. I have tons and tons of knives. I know quality, and I know the more quality, the more it costs. And, you know, that's a very simplistic view of all of that. There's a lot more detail involved. And the simple fact is QSP is a massive company. They can make tons of these, tons and tons of these, send them to retailers, and QSP gets paid and that retailer gets paid. Well, in the sense of a Jack Wolf, Ben designs and whatnot the knife. Then he has to have it made by an OEM, who I thought was QSP. It's not QSP, it's someone else. So I was wrong on that, which, you know, I said if anyone, it was QSP. And as I said in that video, I think QSP could damn near make that Venom Jack. And Ben agreed. He said they damn near could. They almost could. and whether they'll get there or get even closer to that point, which it's like we talked about in that live stream. Once you get up to a 7 out of 10, it is very hard to scale up from there. You have to really, really put in the detail work. And that's where the Jack Wolf comes into play. So in this knife's background, Ben has to make it, then design it, and then the OEM has to make the knife, create the knife. So Ben needs to get paid from doing all the actual detail work. The OEM has to get paid for building the knife, and then they have to go to retailers, trusted retailers, so that way people can trust that they're buying a good product and whatnot. Ben cannot sell these all on his own through his own website. It's just not good for the public as far as having a relationship with certain retailers, which most people in the knife community have a relationship, that they love that place or they're affiliated or whatever it might be. You trust certain retailers. Well, that's why these go to retailers, because Ben doesn't have enough history yet, which he does now. At this point, he has enough that he could, now I don't know that he wants to handle that kind of load, but he could put these on his website, and I think he would sell them all just like he does from retailers. Have a big drop on his own website. And at this point in time, what are we in? 8 months, 10 months, something like that. Close to a year, I think. And he's put out banger after banger, month after month, killer materials, changing it up 3/4 of the way through this period and going with S90V, more carbon fibers. Ben really knows this shit when it comes to dealing with the community, listening to what they say, taking that all into account, and then putting it into a product. And the whole point is there's a lot more going on this knife where the value is actually here. Now, value is subjective. What do you have value in, or how, the price is kind of your maximum, is kind of your value limit. So, if you're in the mid-range all the time, then this is higher than your value and expectation because of the build quality. If you are someone who stays around $100, then some other slip joints are the highest value, and this is out of reach. So it just kind of depends. But after going over the slip joints, after that live and really looking into the knives even more, I understand now, more now than ever, the quality and detail that go into these, and then the circle that which makes, designs, makes, and sells these knives. There's 3 companies that need to make money, and he can't just mass produce these, and if they whiff, it's no big deal, like it would be to QSP. QSP could have whiffed on those, and it wouldn't have hurt them one bit. Ben can't afford to do that. And he doesn't have the luxury of just being able to go right to a retailer and sell them, or sell them himself, kind of like traditional pocket knives does. He gets them from QSP, but he can sell them himself. So he cuts out that retailer aspect, and it's able to drop the price point down. As of right now, Ben cannot do that, does not want to do that, and I completely understand that. Not wanting to take that workload on, not having to deal with shipping hundreds of knives, not taking that risk on. You know, he can deal with the retailer and they take care of all that stuff while he keeps designing knives. So, completely understandable. Hopefully, one day he feels comfortable enough, you know, maybe takes on some workers or some help, and he's able to just sell them himself and then send a few to retailers just because. So all of that is kind of my whole spiel for the topic. And you know, that is where I missed on the detail in Ben's knives and the quality at which they come out. They are just, now I have never handled a custom slip joint or a slip joint that cost more than one of these. But what I have experienced and what I, you know, have checked out, that's awesome. Nice little slip. This is my style. I was thinking about getting a Northwoods or Lancelot slip, but I don't know. I really like this style. Plus, it's got the Jackwolf on it. Very similar to a Lancelot slip. So I think I'm probably going to just keep this until I, you know, decide I feel like switching. But I love this style, and I love the stitching pattern. I don't know who's doing these, if they're custom maker or what, but they feel very good. That was a Lancelot slip. Here's a Northwoods leather slip. And they're all great. They're all great. So, you know, you could do what you please. Northwoods has his design cues, and then Lancelot has his. Little different styles, but both work very well. You can see Lancelot's has this complete circular motion, whereas this one is a little more angled. You know, and then you can fold these down, which I like both styles. So, you know, you do whichever one you like. And then here's a traditional pocket knives, heavy duty one, just to cover that. Similar style to these. So that is awesome, you know. And then that's the other thing, you know, you might get one sticker with the QSP slip joint if you're lucky, and that's it. In this case, you're getting an awesome ass aluminum tin or can. You get this awesome design artwork, which will be going in my little studio area here. You get a badass sticker with that artwork. You get a pog with that artwork. You get a slip, which, you know, these would be selling for 30 and up minimum to get decent quality. You know, you're going to spend 30, 40 minimum on a good leather slip. Just for the maker's time, that's, you know, that's what it's going to cost. And then you get this badass microfiber cloth. So Ben is able to tie everything together, not just good ass slip joints, but he's able to tie in the whole package, from your unboxing experience to what you get in the box with the knife. You know, a lot of thought has went into that, and it's awesome. And, you know, it's something I appreciate greatly. And you could not have talked me into buying a Jack Wolf before I spoke with Ben. You just couldn't, because I couldn't see it. And it wasn't until I really, really looked at the Venom Jack I have in for loan. The quality is just, it's masterful. There's literally no flaw with the knife. Everything is perfectly done. perfectly executed. The finish is perfectly executed. The springs are, you know, on point, double checked. The best walk and talk there pretty much is. It's the strongest walk and talk, and it's the crispest, you know, the most crispy action. So good. And they are just finished with the most care that you could provide a knife, unless you are a custom maker, you know, doing everything yourself. There's, you know, this is the mark here that, you know, I will not probably go past at this point, because why would I when I can get these right here? There's that, you know, in my mind, there's really no reason for me to go beyond a Jack Wolf. The quality is just tremendous. The inlays are perfectly done all the way around. The hardware is just beautiful, well-made hardware. And I'm not just speaking on the low drag here. I'm talking about with the Venom jack I had in, or I have in for loan. I really went over all them slip joints, and I started to, you know, see for myself the quality and the time that goes into these, opposed to, you know, the bigger OEMs and their own projects. So this is the low drag. I just had to have this one after talking with Ben and starting to understand things better. And I said to myself, you know, they are worth it. The materials, the craftsmanship of these, the thought that goes into everything. Ben being an awesome designer, and on top of that, being an awesome dude. That really, that's something that pushed me over the edge and decided to just go ahead and snag one. And this is the one that, other than the sheep's foot and the Venom jack, but there's a reason I decided to go with this one and not wait, or, you know, is this blade shape and the steel that it comes in. I have a ton of Wharncliffe and sheep's foot blades, and I have a couple slip joints that already have sheep's foot or Wharncliffe blades. So I started to think about it. I was like, I don't really have any slip joints with this kind of blade, and I'm not going to wait for a sheep's foot or a Wharncliffe, because when I first saw this and saw it was in S90, I saw the size, which is just long enough to be perfect in my hand. And I have bigger hands. I was kind of worried that it would be, you know, too small, but they're not. You know, I have bigger hands, and you even have some room down there. So, you know, and I'm back here at this point. So they're plenty big enough, unless you have just massive hands, like Shaq hands or something. You're going to be just fine on this knife. And you get that beautiful blade, S90V for the steel, which is another thing that kind of kept me from getting a Jack Wolf. You know, it wasn't, the M390 just isn't as appetizing as S90V, especially for these. The S90V just fits these so much better, in my opinion. Man, that's good. Should we cut something with it? Yeah, let's get some telephone book paper here. Oh, yes. And so I'm not going to go nuts like some people, Kev, and buy, you know, 500 slip joints or anything like that. I'm still a locking knife guy, and I'm pretty sure I always will be. Now, my love for slip joints has definitely grown over the last year. And since Jack Wolf came around, and he has just upped the quality of slip joints altogether as far as your, you know, $75 slip joints and up. He's just really pushed the limit, pushed the boundary to really make these companies start putting some more quality into their slip joints. And this thing, I thought about it, and it's just perfect for my favorite grip. You get that nice belly to tip here, and it's just a unique blade shape. I really like it. I've been getting more into knives with bellies. I never used to be a fan of them, and over the last couple weeks, couple months, I've gotten more and more knives with belly, and bigger bellies at that. I think this needs a little oil maybe, but I really, really like this blade shape, and I chose I think it's Jungle Wear Fat Carbon. I don't have anything quite like this, and I don't have any green, so this was right up my alley. Looks badass. So well done. So shout out to Ben, Jack Wolf. Great job, and you know, thank you for teaching me some new things and informing me of some various things. It'll only make me a more thoughtful and a better knife content creator. So that'll wrap it up. We definitely have a video coming up of this guy with some other slip joints, and we'll have a overview, and I'm going to carry the shit out of this. We'll have a short-term review shortly, you know, a couple weeks, month or two, and this knife obviously isn't going to be going anywhere. So comfortable, and I love that blade shape, and I love S90V. Alright guys, that'll wrap it up. If you're still here, give me a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. And if you're still here and you're not subscribed, what the hell are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, ring the little bell, and select all, baby. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys on the next one.